This is the young star of theater and films, lovely Susan Strasberg.
Thank you. This is my partner, George Schmaug from Hokendauqua, Pennsylvania.
This is one of the most popular stars of motion pictures and the stage, Van Johnson.
Good evening. And this is my partner, Miss Gayle Shubert from Palo, Alto, California. And we're all here to play Password.
Yes, it's Password. Brought to you this evening by Contact, the new decongestant capsule that gives up to 12 hours relief, all day or all night relief from head cold congestion. New Contact. And now here's your host on Password, Alan Ludden.
Good evening. Very good to have you with us on Password. Hiya, Van.
Good evening, Alan.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
Susan Strasberg, how are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
You know, Susan, all of us cannot forget that performance you gave on the stage in the Diary of Anne Frank, but tell me, what's the next thing we're going to see you in?
Well, I just finished a new film in Italy called Hemingway's Adventures of a Young Man, and I have an Italian film coming out called Capo. They'll both be in about 6 months, I think.
Well, we'll be looking for them. Nice to have you here to play Password.
Nice to be here.
Now, this gentleman here on your right, George Schmaug, Susan. Let's see, George, what do you do for a living?
I'm a research chemist in the field of cryogenics.
Excuse me, what is that?
Cryogenics is the study of the low-temperature properties of matter.
I promise we won't use that on Password. Cryogenic. Van Johnson, you just came back from England where you were playing an all-American Midwestern music man for the English audiences. How did they take it?
Well, they took it.
How they liked it?
Yeah, they liked it. They're very, very polite. They get in the seats by 7:30, and they sit there till 10, and there's the tea trays, and they don't drop their teacups, and they're very polite.
And you like playing for them?
Oh, you're the greatest audience.
Well, but how about us? When are we going to get to see you play the music man?
Oh, I'm opening April 21st at the Coconut Grove in Los Angeles for 4 weeks.
Very good. Look forward to that out there on the West Coast. Now, let's see. Van, meet your partner, Gayle Shubert. You've met her. Let's find out about your husband, Gayle. What does he do?
My husband's an engineer. He works for a company that manufactures electronic instruments.
Well, he must be in partnership with Mr. Schmaug.
We're loaded with engineers here, aren't we? All right, let's play Password right now. Here's how we do it. I give a copy of the password to Susan Strasberg, the very same password to Van Johnson. And while they look at it, we'd like you folks at home to take a look at it.
The password is trombone.
Now, everybody knows the password except Susan's partner, George, and Van's partner, Gayle. We're going to keep the word up on the screen while I explain the object of our game, which is very simple. Using only one-word clues, no hyphenated words. Susan, you're to make your partner say the password. Van, your object's the same, to make your partner say the word, and the first team that gets the word is the one that scores. We'll start with you, Susan. Your first clue's worth 10 points. See if you can make George say it in the first clue.
Instrument.
Tool.
Instrument, tool. 9 points, Van.
76?
2 words, not allowed. May I explain that sound? I can see why you... may I explain that sound? It means that your clue has not been accepted by Dr. Reason A. Goodman, an editor of the forthcoming World Book Encyclopedia Dictionary. 1-word clues only. This one's worth 8. What is it, Susan?
Oh, that's not fair. Musical.
Trombone.
Trombone is the word. We should make you sing it now, you know? All right, let's see, George. That means you scored 8 points there toward a 25-point game. You know, the first team that gets 25 points wins the game, has $250 for winning it, and a chance to win even more money in the lightning round. Okay, new word. Here we go. This time I'll give it to George and to Gayle, and as they study it, you look at it at home.
The password is labor.
All right, Gayle, see if you can get Van Johnson here to say it on the first clue. It's worth 10 points.
Union.
Pacific.
Union Pacific, no. 9 points, George.
Work.
Work union.
5 seconds.
Members.
Members, 8 points, Gayle.
Group.
Insurance?
Insurance, 7 points, George.
Toil.
Union. Group. Workers.
Workers, no, 6 points, Gayle.
Toil.
Labor.
Labor is the word. Labor union. Very good. It was kind of a tough one, wasn't it? But he still got it in the 6 points, so it stands 8-6. Password, the score stands. Password goes to Susan and Van. As they look at it, you look at it, please.
The password is charity.
Okay, Susan, first clue's yours, worth 10 points.
Generosity.
Kindness.
Generosity, kindness. Very nice, not right. 9 points, Van.
Bazaar.
Good.
Sale.
Sale, no. 8 points, Susan.
Uh,
5 seconds.
Fund.
Organization.
Organization. She thinks she's got it, Van. 7 points.
Donation.
Charity.
Charity is the word. Very good.
Thank you, Arlene Francis.
I got it from your clue. A little late, but I got it.
That's the wrong show. Well, Arlene's played this. She plays it very well, too. All right, let's see. 8-13 it stands. Password goes to George and to Gayle, and as they look at it, you look at it.
The password is bootlegger.
All right, George. See if you can do it in the first clue. It's worth 10 points.
Twenties.
Roaring.
Roaring 20s. 9 points, Gayle.
Speakeasy.
Bar.
Bar. 8 points, George.
Rum runner.
Rum runner?
It's one word.
Rum runner in the roaring speakeasy?
5 seconds.
Capone?
Capone, no. 7 points, Gayle.
Illegal.
Gambling.
Gambling. 6 points, George.
Before my time, what is it?
Whiskey.
Gin.
Whiskey gin. 5 points, Gayle.
Liquor.
Prohibition.
Good luck. That was very good, very good. Just didn't happen to be the word we're looking for. All right. George, 4 points.
Bathtub.
Oh, I love it. I got it.
Gin. Bathtub gin.
No, you're right, it was, but that's not right. 3 points, Gayle.
Whiskey.
Scotch.
This is more fun when they miss than it is when they get it. All right, George, 2 points.
Salesman.
Salesman. Oh, you're gonna. Salesman.
5 seconds.
Sharpie. Prohibitionist.
Prohibitionist. 1 point.
Manufacturer.
Liquor.
Liquor. No, my friend. Distiller. No, not distiller. My friend, the word is bootlegger. It was before your time, Susan, but you've heard the word.
Yes, I've heard the word.
All right.
Here.
So we went all the way down to the line on that. Okay, let's see what happens on this one. I'll give the password now to Susan and to Van, and as they look at it, you look at it.
The password is matrimony.
All right, Van, first clue's yours, worth 10 points.
Wedding.
Marriage.
Wedding, marriage, 9 points, Susan. 5 seconds.
Marriage.
Ceremony.
Ceremony, 8 points, Van.
Domestic. That's lousy.
Bride.
Bride, 7 points, Susan.
State.
Good. Five seconds.
Coronation.
Coronation. Where are you? No, 6 points, Van.
Bliss.
Matrimony.
Matrimony is the word for 6 points. It's 8 for Susan's teams, 19 for Susan's team, 19 for Van Johnson's team, and here's a brand new password which goes this time to George and to Gayle. And as they look at it, you look at it.
The password is drama.
All right, George, first clue's yours, worth 10 points. Could give you 18.
Play.
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 Joke.
Play, joke. 9 points, Gayle.
Theater.
Roll.
Theater role, 8 points, George. Five seconds.
Show.
Show. Musical.
Musical, 7 points, Gayle.
Serious.
Act.
Serious act, 6 points, George.
Oh, I got it.
Very.
Tragedy.
Tragedy, no,
Drama?
5 points. Gayle.
Art.
Drama.
Drama is the word. Well, you're within 1 point. What's the matter? You all set?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. This time I'll give the password to Susan and to Van, and as they look at it, you look at it.
The password is silly.
You got it? You got it? All right, first clue's yours, Susan, worth 10 points. Could give you 18.
Ridiculous.
Funny.
Ridiculous funny, 9 points, Van.
Icky.
Bizarre.
Bizarre, no, 8 points, Susan.
Ludicrous.
5 seconds, George.
Stupid.
Stupid, no. 7 points, Van.
Giddy.
Silly.
Silly is the word in it. Okay, Gayle, you scored over 25 points, giving you $250 and a chance to pick up more money in our lightning round. We're going to see how much money you can make now in 1 minute. Your partner here, Van Johnson, is going to give you clues to 5 passwords, 1 word at a time. Each password you get's worth $50. Both of you must move along as quickly as you can, and Van, if you feel your clues aren't getting through, move along to the next word, okay? You have only 1 minute. Here's the first word. Go.
Sport.
Game.
Go ahead.
Oh, indoors.
Ball.
More.
Badminton.
15
Gymnasium.
seconds.
Volleyball.
More.
25 seconds.
Team.
Why don't you go to the next word?
Okay, next word.
Next word.
Rattle.
Shape.
That's it for 50.
I shouldn't have done that.
That's
I'm
all
sorry.
right.
Tango.
Dance.
Housey.
Cheek.
Game.
Next word.
Long.
Short.
That's 100.
Doggy.
Kitty.
Wiggle.
Tail.
Oh, all right. Let's see, that first sport he was going for, Gayle, was basketball. You got volleyball, but then he wanted bingo, and finally it was wag for the wiggle. All right, let's see what you have there. You have $250 for the game, $100 for the lightning round, giving Gayle Shubert at the end of her first game $350. But you know, Gayle, that's just the first game, because you and George are going to play the entire show tonight, so the more games you win, the more money you win. Let's start the second game by asking you, Gayle, if you'll come over here and join Susan Strasberg. George, join Van Johnson. All right, now you two ladies get acquainted. You're acquainted. You all set? How about you men?
What is this?
George, we changed partners for the second game.
Why? We were doing all right.
All right, we'll see how you do with the men. We have the ladies competing against the men. That's always a good idea. All right, let's start the new game as soon as I get a word out here. If I have a word, I'll go. And here it comes up my chute. All right. First word goes for this brand. You men are all set? To Van and Susan. As they look at it, you look at it.
The password is ukulele.
Okay, Van, it's yours first. See if you can get George to say it for 10 points.
Instrument.
Instrument.
Tool.
Instrument, tool. Susan, 9 points.
Hawaiian.
Ukulele.
That's it. Go, go, go. Gayle, I'll give you the password as I will to George, and as they look at it, you look at it at home, please.
The password is lobby.
George, yours, first clue, 10 points. Go, go, go.
Room.
Chamber.
Room, chamber, 9 points, Gayle.
Theater.
Auditorium.
Auditorium, 8 points, George.
Outer.
Dressing room.
Dressing room, 7 points, Gayle.
Waiting.
Lobby.
That's it. Very good. All right, 16 for the ladies. The men haven't started yet. All right. Susan and Van have the password. As they look at it, you look at it.
The password is orange.
Start with you, Van. 10 points. First clue.
Fruit.
Fruit.
Pineapple.
Pineapple. 9 points. Susan.
Squeezed.
Orange.
That's it. And you did it. Wow, 3 words in there. That's $250 more. You have a game there, and another lightning round coming up with a chance at $250 more. You know how we play it, Susan?
Yes, sir.
All right, there are 5 words there, Susan. 1-word clues. The only trick is you've got to do it all in 1 minute. Here's the first word, go.
Tossed.
Salad.
$50.
Assembly.
Meeting.
Men's.
A club.
That's 100.
Musical.
Instrument.
Theatrical.
Presentation.
Girly.
Show.
That's good. 150.
Top.
Supreme.
Opposite.
Bottom.
That's 200.
Walk.
Stroll.
Foot.
Step.
That's it for 250. Very good. You deserve that. You certainly do. All right, Gayle, you had $350. You picked up $250 in that last game, plus $250 more for the lightning round, giving Gayle Shubert at the end of her second game $850. And as you know, the more games you play, the more money you win. So let's start our third game, but asking you, if you will, as he wanted you to before you return to Van Johnson now. George, back over here with Susan. The crossover music. All right. Susan, you know George.
Yes.
Van, you're all set with Gayle.
Yes.
All right, we start our third game by giving the password to Susan and Van. And as they look at it, of course, we'd like you to look at it.
The password is crack.
All right, Susan, first clue's yours, worth 10 points.
Sidewalk.
Cafe.
Cafe. Well, it followed, but not right. 9 points, Van.
Break.
Pavement.
Break, pavement, 8 points, Susan.
Slit.
Gutter.
No, she said slit. Not
Slit.
All right, 7 points, Van.
Wise.
Acre.
Wise acre, very good clue. 6 points, Susan. 5 seconds.
Snap.
Guy.
Snap guy, 5 points, Van.
Break.
Crack.
Yeah.
Crack is the word. Susan, I've got to query you on something. What were you going for with snap?
Snap,
Crack?
snap, crack, the sound of
Oh,
snap.
snap. I thought you were going for snap, crackle, and pop.
Yeah, I was
Is that-
actually, but I didn't want to admit it.
All right. Okay, very good. Well, we have 5 points over here in Van's team. This time I'll give the password to George and to Gayle, and as they look at it, of course, we'd like you to look at it.
The password is grouchy.
George, first clue is yours, worth 10 points.
Grumpy.
Angry.
Angry, 9 points. Gayle.
Mean.
Don't let her scare you, Dizzy.
Dwarf.
Mean what?
Dwarf.
Dwarf? No. Oh, grumpy.
Yeah.
8 points, George.
Antagonistic.
Irritable.
Irritable. 7 points, Gayle.
Irritable.
Nasty.
Nasty. 6 points, George. 5 seconds.
Difficult.
Irascible.
Nope. 5 points, Gayle.
Grumpy.
5 seconds. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Unpleasant.
Unpleasant. 4 points, George.
Nasty.
Horrible.
Horrible. 3 points, Gayle. Five seconds.
Nasty.
Pessimist.
Pessimist. 2 points, George. 5 seconds.
Grumpy.
Grumpy, and grumpy.
Name drop.
5 seconds.
Furious.
Furious. No. 1 point, Gayle. 5 seconds.
Mean.
5 seconds, Van.
Crotchety.
No, my friends, I must tell you the word is grouchy. Grouchy. You said everything else, I'm sure. Incidentally, may I explain that if we don't have time to complete a 25-point game, the team that is ahead at the end of the time will receive the $250. All right, let's move along here. I'll give the password this time to Susan and Van, and as they look at it, you look at it.
The password is officer.
All right, Van, first clue is yours, worth 10 points.
Policeman.
Officer.
That's it for 10 points. Wow. That's it. That's the whistle. Time is up. The score stands nothing for Susan's team, 15 for Van's team, giving you $250 more, Gayle Shubert. We'll be back in a minute to tell you about next week's guest stars on... Let's see what happens here. Gayle Shubert, you won $1,100. George, nobody goes away empty-handed. You have $100. And next week, we'll have 2 new contestants who will be playing Password with our guest stars, old friends of yours, Kitty Carlisle and Jack Carter. Susan, it's been a real pleasure playing Password with you. Will you come back to join us?
Oh, I'd love to.
Very good. And Van Johnson, when do you come back to New York to do a play?
Well, I'll be back in September, Alan, to do a play for Goss and Canaan with Carol Baker called Come On Strong.
And we'll be waiting for it. We'll be counting on all of you joining us next week at the same time, or tomorrow on the daytime Password at the same time over most of these same CBS television stations. Until then, this is Alan Ludden saying the password tonight is trip. The next time you take a trip with your family, try playing Password with the children. It'll keep them quiet, I promise. So long. See you tomorrow.